There's this man named Casey. He is at the jewelry store to choose a gift for his wife named Namiko. She is pregnant at home. Cash in hand and newly bought necklace attracted the attention of two thugs behind him in an empty alley. Casey gets two thugs along the way because he wanted to quickly return to his wife. Casey took the initiative to hand over the money in his pocket. But the two thugs still didn't give up. Holding a rare knife, Casey has to give the chain he just bought. This action exceeded Casey's patience, so he used the cloth wrapped with the necklace to fight. Two thugs use knives in quick succession to attack Casey, but confront them as a genuine ninja. After a while of fighting, Casey doesn't take too much effort, stole the knife, and successfully controlled two thugs. Casey looked at the mark on the knife, then pressed it to the ground and left. Arriving home, Casey put on his wife's new necklace, then go to the supermarket to buy some food. When he returned home, he discovered that his wife had been murdered. Left an X-shaped wound on his neck. Trying to keep calm, Casey called the police. But after a series of professional measures and investigations, the police concluded, this is just an ordinary house break-in, murder, robbery. And stop investigating the case. Casey knows it's not that simple. Wait until the funeral is done for his wife. Personally go to find the killer. Attending the funeral was Casey's longtime best friend. It's Nakabara. He flew in from Thailand because he wanted Casey to quickly forget the pain of losing his wife. Nakabara invited Casey to fly to Thailand for a while. He wants Casey to help manage the dojo, and can help the male lead relax the mood, but after listening, Casey refused, because he also has to avenge his lost wife. Early the next morning, Casey went to a dojo. He suspects that the two thugs the other day were the #1 suspect in the murder of his wife. That is based on the technique used by the two thugs. He guessed those two guys. Definitely the martial artist of this dojo. So he rushed to the dojo to take revenge. The head of the dojo came out to talk to him, learned that Casey had come to find two thugs the day before. So he kicked Casey badly out of the dojo, but after a while of fighting, Casey defeated all the students in the dojo, but still did not see the two thugs show up. So Casey had to take the lead, coerced him to ask him the whereabouts of the other two. In the middle of the night, two thugs are going home. Casey from the dark, rushed out to beat two thugs, facing two guys who killed his wife. This time Casey is determined to avenge his wife. He beat them mercilessly. Each stab is a fatal blow to the thugs. Quickly finished dealing with two thugs. After successfully avenging his wife, Casey decided to leave this grieving country. I went to Thailand alone. Find Nakabara, who owns the dojo here. Nakabara because he wanted to show the students Casey's strength. So a martial arts competition was held. Unexpected results. Casey uses his superhuman strength. Beat all the students here. But in Casey's heart ever since, still can't forget Namiko. Recently, I almost accidentally injured a martial artist. So Casey moody sad. Go to the bar alone. But this time a thug deliberately spilled the glass of wine in his hand, constantly provoking him with words. This time Casey couldn't hold back anymore. He banged his head on the table, and then hit another hard kick. But unexpectedly, the gangster's accomplices in the bar were very crowded. They immediately rushed to attack his counsel. But Casey calmly took down one by one. They couldn't hit Casey with their hands. Immediately switched to using items in the bar. They use everything in the bar that can be used. Rushed to attack Casey. After all, they are not your opponents. After defeating all of them, Casey calmly drank another beer before leaving. The next day he woke up and intended to go to the garden to pick fruit. But after sobering up, headache like a hammer is extremely uncomfortable. A nearby martial artist saw this and took the initiative to speak. Can help you. Tell Casey to go home and rest. It wasn't long before something bad happened in the orchard. Help Casey see fruit was killed by an unknown person. Casey rushed to the scene. Then the martial artist had already stopped breathing. In the wood he left an X-shaped wound, identical to Namiko's. Looks like the real killer is the same person. Soon the police arrived and took the body away. Wasn't long before Casey went to see Nakabara. Tell him what's in your heart. And Nakabara told him a story. Turns out many years ago, Casey's father-in-law and Nakabara's father with a junior named Ashamu are the most elite martial arts masters of the dojo. Nakabara's father later joined the army and went to Burma, so the only two left are Casey and Ishima's father-in-law. Later one day in a dispute over the position of the head of the dojo, Casey's father-in-law accidentally beat Ashamu, vows to avenge the family members of Casey's wife. Many years passed, Ishima's younger brother Guro still wants revenge. Guro has a cruel personality and very cruel tricks. Now he has become a notorious drug lord in Burma. The weapon he uses most often, it was a long wire shaped like barbed wire. The victim is killed very quickly. On the neck, it often leaves a very deep X-shaped mark. Nakabara speculates on recent serial murder cases, most likely caused by Guro itself, to avenge his brother. After saying that, Nakabara advised Casey to quickly leave Thailand, avoid self-harm. But how can a wife not take revenge? At that moment, Casey is determined to kill this Guro for revenge, because Nakabara still had to stay in Thailand, to coordinate with the police to investigate the case of Vo student. So Casey decided to go to Burma alone to meet the Guro. Before leaving, Nakabara told Casey that his father once hid a precious black suit and a Japanese sword in the rainforests of Burma. If necessary, you can rely on the instructions of this map. dig up treasures to use. The next day Casey flew to Burma, then to a bar, disguised as an addict who wants to buy banned drugs, then inquired about Goro's whereabouts, but suddenly stopped talking. He was surrounded by a group of thugs. Faced with thugs like this, just a few simple moves defeated them all. Casey caught a thug, forcing him to tell Goro's lair. But this guy doesn't know where Goro is. Just get the command that anyone who inquires about Zoro is killed without asking why. Casey knew he couldn't get any more information. Should return to the hotel to rest. I just suddenly fell asleep. He seemed to hear a strange noise outside the door. Casey didn't have time to get dressed. Step on a Burmese policeman standing behind a wooden door. Then hit and retreat, and then miraculously escaped. Looks like Goro bribed the police here. That night Casey silently broke into the police station. After knocking out the cops, he broke into the sheriff's office. Casey directly lifted the sheriff up and hit the floor hard. After 1 hour of brutal torture, the sheriff reveals Goro's whereabouts. Casey kills him and then quickly leaves. Then board a small wooden boat. Go to Goro's lair. Don't know how long to walk in the rainforest. Twilight that night Casey suddenly encountered a group of bandits. You take advantage of when they are not guarded. He attacked them from the bushes, coldly broke a man's neck. The second guy was also controlled by him. Then he threw a knife and killed the third guy. The fourth guy saw that and continuously opened fire on him, but he was quick to jump. In the end he was still caught. At the moment of life and death, Casey is faster. Thrust the knife straight into his chest before he could fire. Then the sea tree continues to move forward, according to the directions of the map. Finally discovered equipment that Nakabara's father left behind in an arid forest. After everything is ready, Casey took advantage of the dark. Proceed to break into the whereabouts of Goro. Casey jumps from top to bottom. Directly used Japanese sword to kill 2 bandits on patrol. Then compacted mines. Seriously injured Goro's subordinates. The deafening explosion of landmines also caught Goro's attention. And his most powerful subordinate is Mayat. Not long after, Mayat came to kill him with a knife. His moves are very versatile. At the same time, Chu is also very dangerous. Casey temporarily lost all advantage. After a fierce struggle, Veil was pulled down by Mayat. Strong punches, oblique kicks, flying people, kicking legs. After a while of fighting, Casey has gradually understood Mayat's moves. He caught his hand. A snap sent the knife to the ground, followed by a thunderous kick that stunned Mayat. He struggled to get up to fight on. Casey took a knife and stabbed him in the leg, then a slash across the stomach. Finally Casey finished the opponent with a fatal knife. Next Casey went straight to Goro's room. His eyes are filled with hatred. Looked at Goro sitting in front of him. Casey said that brother's daughter Ma, it's my wife. But Goro just coldly replied. Turns out Namiko was married to a trash guy. After that, Casey ran to beat him. Casey's long sword against Goro's barbed wire. Casey capitalizes on the weakness of barbed paper. It has very poor defense. He bent down and slashed at Goro's stomach. But Goro remained unharmed. He picked up the Japanese sword from the ground. Go head to head with Casey. Key moment Goro used barbed wire again. Squeezed Casey's neck. Fortunately, Casey reacted quickly. Use a Japanese sword to block this fatal move. Casey pulled him forward with all his might. The wound in his stomach exhausted him. Without hesitation, Casey drew his sword and cut off Goro's head. After revenge, Goro returns to Thailand. Then to Nakabara's dojo. He told Nakabara about his revenge journey, full of danger. While talking to Nakabara, there's a guy carrying a cargo that catches Casey's attention. He found a knife mark on his waist. On the blade there are engraved motifs, similar to the pattern on the knife of 2 thugs. This made Casey feel confused. Maybe those 2 thugs were sent by Nakabara. Then the mastermind behind this whole thing. Isn't that the person sitting in front of you? Under Casey's interrogation, Nakabara also told the truth. It turns out that on the surface he is the owner of a dojo, but in fact trading banned substances. He is also a close partner with drug lord Goro. But recently Goro has not stopped increasing the price of drugs, causing Nakabara's profits to decrease, seriously affect his business. So Nakamura planned the whole thing. First he personally went to Japan, used barbed wire to assassinate Casey's wife, then tricked Casey back into Thailand, then used the same trick to kill a martial artist. Next entices Casey to seek revenge on Goro. Just like that he can benefit, without effort. Listen to the whole story. Turns out the enemy who killed his wife was always right next to him. Casey couldn't swallow this lump of anger. Pick up the teapot on the table and bang it towards Nakabara. Extreme anger brought Casey's power to its peak. He used 1 foot to kick Nakabara flying to the other room. Nakabara opposite Casey is extremely angry. He turned and threw a kick, causing Casey to spin a few times and then hit the ground. He then took a Japanese sword and slashed the Casey in quick succession. And Casey hit back with a long stick. Nakabara unleashed a slash that broke Casey's cane in half. His weapon changed to 2 short sticks. Then, they switched to swords and slashed at each other. Nakabara threw a dagger at Casey's shoulder. Casey endured the pain and pulled out the knife. Looked up at Nakabara's homemade barbed wire, hanging on a shelf right in front of me. He tried to get up and grab the wire, threw a tight rope around Nakabara's neck, like the scene where he killed your wife that day, using the same method to end Nakabara's life. Today's movie comes to an end. This movie is called Ninja, Shadow of a Tear. If you like it, please click like, and share the video to support us. Thank you for watching the whole video. Hello and see you in